Rewind. Stop. Press play. Welcome to Urban News London. Today we are going to invite you into the world of Mr Jayvic, once known for his contagious Afrobeat and catchy melodies. The moment you heard his music, you couldn't help it, you had to dance. However, that has not changed in 2022. The only thing that has changed is the content and the purpose of his music.
These people wanna come and do me. They wanna take my blessing from you, from you, from me.
Hello, Mr Jayvic.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, you know. I'm glad that we are able to catch up with you at last, because I know how busy you are.
Yeah. I'm glad to be here too.
Thank you. Many of us who listen to your music and would like to know more about the person behind the music.
Yeah.
Who is the person behind the music?
My government name, I would say, is Victor Johnson, and I'm known as Mr Jvic. I'm an Afro gospel artist. So when I say Afro gospel, I was once into the Afrobeat scene, and obviously when I actually went through this transition where I obviously got saved and got into the church world, I decided I was gonna, because obviously I've been hearing a lot of gospel, and I've always had this vision to merge the gospel and the Afrobeat together without losing the essence. So that's why I call my style of music Afro gospel. So that's what I do. So basically, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a musician, and I like to think of myself as inspiration to the young generation.
I've heard your music and followed you with great interest. When did you start?
Really start from the get-go of my musical journey. So it's been a long time, but I think if I could recollect it from, I started doing music right from when I was obviously 15.
Yes.
But I started taking it serious as a career from my 20s.
Right, I'm with you.
Right, from my 20s. And through, because I went to Kingston University, and I think it was from that point when I was in uni that I really decided, because I did media TV studies, a bit of marketing, a little bit of music. So, but it was that part where I decided I was going to actually take music as a career, not just a hobby.
I'd just like to know who inspired you? I mean, where did your inspiration come from?
During my times when I was in Nigeria growing up as a little boy, I drew inspiration from people like Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti is a very popular musician and is a pioneer for as a musician in Africa in whole. So people like Fela Kuti, people like Two-Face, on the young generation Afrobeat wise. Then when I look the other side, I've seen Michael Jackson. I used to love, as a little boy, I used to love to try to do the moonwalk. I used to always want to sing like Michael Jackson. People like, because I love to dance a lot, so people like Usher Raymond was a very good influence to my music, and Joe, Luther Vandross, so a little bit of Marvin Gaye, but obviously, but then on the gospel side, I've always liked people like the Whiners, Fred Hammond, Kirk Franklin on the new generation. Yeah, I like his style, his energy, how he puts music, how he puts gospel musicians together and just make a beautiful set of music. So Kirk Franklin have been a very good inspiration. But in general, that's why when I say my music is Afro gospel, you hear an element of R&B, pop, but also Afrobeat. So it's a fusion of different elements. So
I like that. Do you think the music industry is really responsible for some of the things, some of the music that's out there, for some of the, when you see knife crime on the street and they relink it to some kind of music, do you think that's fair?
First of all, to answer the question, I say, okay, music to me is like a culture, right? And people is also like a fashion. Like people follow what is trending, what seems to be trending, sounds good to the ear. People tend to follow it. We definitely have most of the popular music most of, you know, most of them appeal more to like things to do with sex, drugs, violence.
Yes.
Right? I grew up with music. I wouldn't say all my life I've always heard positive music, but some music are like about love and sex, depending on how it's been, like how, just depending on the song itself.
Yes.
But then some music are barely violent, like the things is like, I don't really want to specifically say drill music or hip hop music, because we know the USA had this the hip hop thing just stood for street life, gangsters and guns and knives and all of that. But we know that there's some rap artists who came from that and became something positive.
Yes.
So I don't want to blame the music so much, but for some people who are not really strong,
Yes. It could influence them.
it could influence them in some negative way.
Yes.
You know, because like I said, growing up as a child, I listened to a lot of hip hop music, which was about gun, knife and stuff, and violent. And as well, I listened to some R&B music, which was about love and some about sex. But I took the goodness out of it.
Yes.
I didn't really focus on the negative part of it. So, but just looking at, because an interesting question is a question that I think that question is very interesting, because it doesn't require a direct answer, if you know what I mean. Looking at that question you're giving me now is like, is part of the reason why I was inspired to come out from the type of music I was doing, to doing the Afro gospel, to be like, okay, I know that these young people love a bit of, because I knew growing up, I liked what was so interesting about this type of music is that the beats was really good, the vibe, the energy was so lovely, so people are drawn because of the music is really good, but at the same time the messages was negative. So that's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to do now is I can give them a bit of that good vibe, give them a bit of that good instrument, but bring in good message with it, and tell them that you can also have that kind of music, but with a touch of positive message.
How do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Where do you see Mr Jayvic?
I see myself in the billboards, because I aspire to take this music to a higher level, obviously. So I see myself in the billboards, Grammy. I want to travel around the world. I see myself as a motivational speaker, but through my music.
Yes.
Right? You see, so I see myself as a motivational speaker through my music, not just speaking. So I really want to influence a lot of young people, but it has to come from the success behind the music, because obviously nobody wants to listen to anybody with no sort of success behind it. So when I stand up and tell people that, okay, for example, as a young boy growing, my new project I just released is called Demons Chasing Me. A lot of people thinking, why demons chasing me and stuff like that. But this is why I'm happy that you guys have called me here for this interview, because I believe that every individual have a demon, and our demons are classified as our difficult. Everybody have a weakness to them. We have some things that we are trying to overcome. Some people with probably anger issues, some people they just have money management problems, some people it's something else. Some people, like you say, with the drugs and the violence and the sex situation, everybody have something that they're trying to overcome.
Yeah.
So this album represents an awareness of what our weaknesses are and how we can overcome it. Now, I know what you guys are trying to do is beautiful, because you guys are trying to bring this positive message to the youth and trying to educate these young people to come out from the streets with a whole gun and knife and try to use their talent and be productive instead of destructive.
How do you go about thinking about the lyrical content of your music? Where does that come from?
Okay, the lyrical content, it comes, sometimes I wake up from a sleep, I've had this dream. Like, okay, I remember this song, actually the single The one which I shot the video for called Demon Chasing Me, that is an piano Afrobeat, guys. That is
Please check that out.
Yeah,
I just
please
want
check that
everybody
out.
to
It's
know
on
to check
YouTube.
that out.
We're actually doing well.
Yes.
It's been 3 weeks since release, and I believe you guys came to the show.
We came, and
I'm
it
glad
was
you guys
amazing.
are there.
It was
Thank you so
amazing.
much. I think that's doing a good number at the moment on YouTube. That was called Demon Chasing Me, and that was, I had a dream where, in that dream, it's like different family issues. You know, like we sometimes, some of us, we come from a very complex family, and sometimes you feel like siblings. I know you've heard about sibling rivals and stuff like that. Where we come from in Nigeria, we have a situation where people go through certain spiritual attack, and sometimes it's certain people wishing bad on people. So it's like I was in a dream experiencing these things. When I got up from that dream, I thought to myself, hold on, I was speaking to my wife, I'd like to actually get in the studio and put what I actually dreamt about. Like, how can I talk about my experience? Like, the blessing that God is giving me to my family is to bring, because right now my family, I believe my family is kind of chaotic at the moment, and I've been praying, I've been fasting about my family, and I believe that God is doing some good job. Slowly my family is coming together again. But I was saying, I want to sing about this situation. I want to say, I want to put it in a music where people can hear this music and say, I've not really heard someone make a music where they're talking about their family in this way and about themselves. Like in the song Demon Chasing Me, there's a part where I was saying, they're trying to take my blessing from me. And there's a part where I say, I'm going down on my knees saying, Hosanna, Hosanna. So every night I close my eyes, and I see these demons chasing me. Now people hear it, say, what demon chasing me?
I do love that song.
You see, do you know what I mean?
I do.
And I love the dance to it as well.
I do love it. Yes.
And do you know, is a lot of songs out there that are quite catchy, have very little message to them. So I wanted a heavy message, and still having fun and dancing to it.
Fun, yes.
Also, I just did a video to my second single. I went hard for share last weekend.
And what's your next single?
It's called Surrender.
Okay. So just like everybody to know
Surrender.
Unreliable. Lord, if you need a man, use me, Lord, I surrender. Lord, if you need a man, send me, Lord, I surrender. My life belongs to you.
Everyone to know where to find you, how to find you, and how to support you. How can the people to support your music?
On Instagram as Mr Jvic. So Mr is Mrjayvic. That's Mr Jvic. That's the Instagram. The Twitter, which I don't really use that much, is Jvic Official. So that's Jvic, so Jayvic Official. That's the Twitter and everything on YouTube. Sorry, if you type Mr Jvic, you can watch all my videos on Spotify, which I know a lot of people use for their streaming the music. Is Mr Jvic, Apple Music, Mr Jvic. So pretty much, if you Google Mr Jvic, you can have access to my music. I have access to my Instagram. Follow me, tell a friend. And pretty much that's about it. The album is out on Spotify, Apple Music. So if you type Mr Jvic Demon Chasing Me, you'll be able to listen to it. I think it's about 11 tracks. So right now we've just dropped one single, Demon Chasing Me, and we're about to launch the second single, which is Surrender. And I'm excited because we're looking to really put it out there in the TVs and radios, and we're looking to actually work together to have another concert, because the show we did that you guys came was more like an opening party, but I am planning to have a summer gig, like a proper concert where I can bring a lot of artists together and do something beautiful, so showcase the music with people. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my interview, and hopefully we'll go back to check out my music and my journey.
So thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to thank Mr Jvic once again for taking time out to speak to Urban News London, giving us an insight into his world. We also would like to thank him for supporting our Be Productive, Not Destructive campaign, promoting positive thinking. If you would like to support our truly important campaign, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can continue to do what we do best. Also, don't forget to check out Mr Jvic's music that leaves you wanting more.
everything I have. Surrender. Life belongs to you, you. Everything of me.